Hello everyone, it is Adam. 38 degrees in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm going downtown to get some avocado toast and pour over coffee. It's Sunday, which is the least traffic day down here. And yeah, November 20th, I can't believe I'm still on the bike riding. My friend Matt sent me a photo of his car buried in snow. They got like 4 feet of snow up there in the Buffalo, Watertown area. Just, man, completely hammered with snow. Heather, who's in England for 2 weeks, she's up there with her family for this weekend, Thanksgiving. Same thing, you know, a lot of snow. I was reading the NHVT Central Rider Soda and Adventure Rider and saw the guys were mentioning salt trucks are already out. It's coming, man. It is coming. Salt trucks are out. Riding season is over. Today would have been my final ride of the year if I was going to go get the bike washed. It's just, you know, no, it's not hot here. It's 42, but it's also not cold. This is an October morning ride in New Hampshire. Whereas, you know, so if it doesn't get any colder than this, if it gets down to like 35, I can ride in 35. Actually, I rode to work on Thursday, which is about 10 miles each way, and it was 27 when I left the house. And got about 50 midday. Perfect. 27-degree morning ride, wake you up, get the blood flowing, and then 50 degrees, ride home. Perfect. That's absolutely fine. By the way, the red lights here take forever, so it's almost like the most boring vlog ever. It skipped me. It skipped me. Just sitting here like an asshole. What's the rule in North Carolina, guys? Like, if the light skips you, can you just go for it? There we go. Man, I really did miss. I missed the GS a lot. I love this bike. I've been riding the 018 for 2 weeks now. The 701 has another fuel pump out. It'll be my third fuel pump going in that bike. So the 701's in the shop. Shout out to 10 Cycles in Charlotte. They're my they're my local Husqvarna KTM dealer, and they are 2 miles from my house. And oh, let's see if the rear TPMS sensor is working. It is nice. So then shout out to Motorcycles of Charlotte. They're a multi-brand dealer. They do BMW, Ducati, Triumph, and one other. I went by yesterday with my rear wheel in my hand and my rear TPMS sensor that I bought from Max BMW in October, and I said, can you replace my TPMS sensor? It's been out for like a year now. Those of you who don't know, the BMWs have a, you know, the TPMS sensors are one assembly, and although they're not very complicated, the battery does eventually fail after 4 to 5 years, and so you lose your tire pressure monitoring for that wheel. And you can't just replace the battery. You got to buy a whole new assembly, which is $200. And they popped it right in. They said, we don't know if it'll actually sync up to your bike or not. I'm like, it will, and it does. It does. After like a few minutes, it basically goes, oh hey, I'm reporting TPMS, you know, or tire pressure, and comes through that way. But in and out. So like 10 Cycles, they did a lot of work for me under warranty, which is really awesome for the Husky. And so, you know, I put on some new Moto Z tires out the door. I brought all the parts myself out the door for like $250. And Motorcycles of Charlotte saw me the same day, no appointment needed. They said just bring the wheel by and wait an hour and we'll do it for you. Charged me $50 to take the tire off, put the TPMS sensor in, and put it back on. Like wham bam. Thank you, sirs. This ride will not be too boring today, though. I am actually taking you all into downtown Charlotte. Everyone here calls it Uptown, but for here and henceforth, I'm not going to call it Uptown. calling it downtown. So you'll get some nice views of downtown here in a few minutes. One thing I will notice about Charlotte is there are a lot of trees here. So I've been to a lot of southern cities, Raleigh, Atlanta, Birmingham, Jacksonville, and there are a lot of trees in Charlotte. It's really, really nice actually so my office is on the 11th floor of an office building, and it's just all I can see is trees and then the downtown buildings, which is really, really cool. By the way, I'm not living in Charlotte. I'm living south of Charlotte, southeast of Charlotte, on the 485 Beltway. I did that because I'm not 25 anymore. I don't need to be downtown. I also don't need to be opposite of the airport. I need to be kind of 20 minutes from the airport. And also I don't need to be opposite of my workplace, which is in Ballantyne. And so I'm going to be, I'm basically 10 miles from work, 15 miles from the airport, and 2 miles from every store that I could possibly need, in a ranch-style home with no traffic on a dead-end road. And it's quiet, and there are kids, and it's just very, very chill. Yeah, so what, I don't have any, high-class cocktail lounges or dance clubs, but it's a family kind of geared area. That's where I am. So I'm in Matthews, North Carolina, if you want to throw a map up. So Matthews to Ballantyne is my daily commute, and it's really simple. Even with bad traffic, it's really simple. I also miss my quick shifter too. So riding season's over for all my friends up north. Sorry guys. I wanted to talk to you a bit about the kind of what's been going on lately down here. So I've been at work for now a full week. Been down here for 2 weeks, and it's been nice. It's nice being back in the city. I've had a few sticker shock things that I just wanted to kind of like talk out loud at you for a few minutes about, and kind of give you a sticker shock's a funny way to put it, but well, I'm in a city now, so there's a shitload of traffic. I know it doesn't look like it right now. I'll probably only do these vlogs on Sundays because any other day of the week it's going to be too boring for you to watch me just sit in traffic and talk to myself. But, a little bit of shock on the traffic. So it's like, oh, hey, great. The Walmart is only a mile from my house instead of like 10 miles. But, is the cop coming out? No. Weird. The Walmart's a miles to 10 miles, but it still takes 10 minutes to get there because of traffic. It's like, things are closer, so I'm using more fuel. However, so I run a tracker. I only did 150 miles last week, and that's with commuting to and from work. That's like nothing in a week. I was putting 20,000 miles a year on my truck and 20,000 miles a year on my motorcycles up in New England. Up here, I'll be lucky to get 20 total, even with trips. So that's really nice. But then, there's a lot of traffic, a lot of tomfoolery. You got to be on your A game. Everyone here is texting. So in New England, that's not the case. No one has their phone in their hand in Vermont. Down here, everyone has their phone in their hand. It's like almost wild. Like every time a light turns green, it's like 5 to 10 seconds before the person goes because they're on their phone looking at videos or something. So that's super odd. A lot of people have tried to kill me, but I haven't died yet. The yellow lights on my bikes helps a lot. All my bikes have yellow lights on them now, and that's just a smart thing to do down here, I could tell, with the people that are texting. Coming from a almost off-the-grid home in New Hampshire where I had power and water and septic and all that stuff kind of off-grid, and no cell phone service in that house. It's been weird here because in this rental, I have water company, sewer company, natural gas company, electric, cable, I'm probably missing something. All these services that I had to pay for every month. So it's not just $2,000 a month for a rental, it's like $2,500 with utilities. And up in New Hampshire, we have it super lucky. The only bill I had every month was $75 for Comcast for internet. Yeah, that's it. Because the other bills were all like my own solar panels were powering my electricity. I had a well, and I had septic, and so like I didn't have any other bills except for my cable bill. So that's kind of been, you know, not sticker shock, and like, hey, not only is it more expensive in rent, well, actually, no, it's not. It's cheaper than rent. Our house would be $3,500 a month where I live up north, but all the utilities are adding up. Sticker shock on insurance. And by the way, the agents down here had zero chill when it came to, it's my fault that the insurance is high. So I've got an 820 FICO score, you know, very low DTI. I've never had a claim that was my fault. I've had a couple of claims in the last 5 years that were other people's fault. Like someone backed into my Ram, for example, last May. And in New Hampshire, I was paying for 2 cars, $1,000 a year for 2 cars. And in Charlotte, in New Hampshire, I was paying for 4 motors, 5. K75, 701, F750, R1200, R18, 5 motorcycles. I was paying, $650 a year. And I would drop all those down to comprehensive only in October through April because the riding season really was more like $400 a year in insurance. I just kept buying motorcycles because when I added the R18 to my plan, when I added the R18 to my insurance plan in May, my insurance actually dropped by $10 a year when I added the R18. So I just kept buying new bikes. Well, the cars from $600 or $1,000 a year have gone up to about $2,000 a year, so they've doubled. And the motorcycles have gone from, let's just call it $600 or $500 a year because I'm riding year round down here, have ballooned to $1,400 a year, and that's without the K75, which I sold. So my insurance has over doubled in my move to Charlotte. Unbelievable. That's like my entire month of like, if let's say, assume I don't have a budget, that's like my entire month of household expenses beyond, you know, required expenses. Like that's groceries, that's gas, that's eating out, that's movies, that's dinner, that's rentals, that's, you know, clothes shopping, oil changes. That's my whole monthly budget just to insure my bikes for a year. If that makes sense. I don't know if I'm trying to get what I'm saying here. I pay my bills in full. So they're right up here. Other shock has just been how inefficient it is to kind of get around. So yesterday I really wanted to go to Total Wine, which I haven't been in like 8 years, and get some a bottle of wine for when Heather gets back and celebrate with her, you know, post Thanksgiving. And I also wanted to I went to a meetup group, which was like a dog park meetup group. So I thought to myself, oh, I'll take Porter and we'll go to the dog park together, and it'll be a new place, but it's on the other side of town. It's northeast of Charlotte. I'm southeast of Charlotte. It took 40 minutes to get up there. This is like bad traffic for New Hampshire, by the way. Not being first at a red light is like crazy. I still can't get used to it. But well, sitting in the parking lot at a grocery store, a person backs into me, my truck, and so I got a quote already yesterday afternoon. It's going to be $1,500 to repair my door. It's just paint damage, but they have to remove the door to get everything, you know, done properly. We're hopping on the highway. I tried to avoid the highway, but we're getting on it anyway. And then, so I got that quote for the body shop and submitted it to her insurance, and she's already, you know, I had a cop come out, I had a police report. I'm not a dummy. I know how this works. Geico was very happy that I had a police report attached to this no fault incident on my truck. And then, and then driving home from kind of where Charlotte Motor Speedway is south on the interstate, a cement truck pulls in front of me. I slam on the brakes. they go to accelerate fast, and 4 huge, like, you know, white stones hit my truck, and I have my front bumper is dented and paint is off of it. My A-pillar has 2 rock gouges to the metal, so beyond the primer. It took the paint, primer, and some of the metal off, so I gotta get a paint pen for that. And then it put 3 holes in my windshield, so my windshield is shattered. And so I had to put another Geico claim in last night for a separate incident, which I had dash cam footage for. So it's not, you know, it's not like I'm going to get a higher insurance for this, rate for this. But I'm like, Heather's like, I can kind of see why the insurance is so expensive in Charlotte. You've lived here for a week and you've had 2 claims. This is the main, this is, I don't know what this is. This is the main arterial road that goes into downtown Charlotte from Matthews. I avoided this on purpose. I didn't want to give you just a straight road the entire time, but this is the kind of the, if I go downtown, this is the main way to get there. I will only go downtown for a sporting event or to go to a hipster cafe, because there's a little neighborhood up here that's full of hipsters. There's no other reason for me to go downtown unless, you know, maybe a Sunday drive in the summertime while I want to just kind of like drive around downtown and talk to you guys with the big buildings. That's the only reason you're going to see me in this area. What else? Well, just I think I'm probably going to wrap it up soon, but like, you know, Charlotte has just been a little shocking, but I think, you know, what I've told Heather is that every city we could have moved to would have been this caliber of shockingness. At least Charlotte has a pretty low cost of living. There's Charlotte, downtown. Has a pretty low cost of living relative to a lot of cities. You know, rent is affordable. We can live on the outskirts, and I can commute to work, which is also on the outskirts. I'm not driving, because this road is like bumper to bumper, stop and go traffic every morning into the downtown area. You know, we're pretty lucky in that we picked a southern city where I can ride year round and it's affordable. But I'm just a little bit, I guess I'm just not quite used to the inefficiencies and the cost of living in a major city of 1 million people. And I'll get used to it. So what's next? Well, I go to work next week, obviously. I'm not going to talk much about work on this channel. Not until I kind of get settled in. Don't want to put my foot in my own mouth. But I will be talking a bit more about it in the future. I think it's great. There's no complaints. I just want to make sure that I settled in first and prove my worth and not just seem like a person that's working in this company just for content for a vlog. There are a lot of vloggers who their life is shaped around content for their YouTube channel. My new coworkers probably don't know that I'm not that way, but you all know that. So all I'm trying to say is I'm going to keep that stuff close to the chest for now, and you know, as things mature, we'll see what happens with kind of talking about it. Next week, I'm going to be driving 5 hours southwest to Alabama to my dad's house for Thanksgiving, taking the dog with me, and Heather will be home a few days after Thanksgiving. And then we leave for our honeymoon in December for a week or so down in Bahamas. I'll post some pictures from that to Instagram because it's just going to be a beautiful place. And as far as the bikes go, you know, I just shot a video, which you probably will see soon, of fixing this latch control switch on the GS. Did that myself. The rear TPMS sensor is working, which is awesome. Very happy that I have a tire pressure sensor now. And R18 will soon need a 6,000 mile service, and once I dig up the valve check specs for that, I will make a video about the valve checking of the R18, which will be fun. 701, new Moto Z tires, new tubes. Husqvarna, through a recall, is actually paying for the tires and the service, so they're reimbursing me for the cost I spent on those tires. As a part of a recall for TKC80s. I'm also getting my rear fuel pump replaced. My left switch is broken. My turn signal cancel button doesn't work on the 701 because I dropped it in a mud hole at Soggy Bottom Moto Fest. You guys saw the video of that one. And what else in 701? I don't know. Other stuff, random stuff. Oh, check the chain, that kind of stuff. Heather's bike is in storage. We've uninsured her bike done to comprehensive only for the winter. Fun fact in North Carolina, though, you can't go to comp only. There is no such thing as winter storage in North Carolina because you have to maintain liability and comprehensive minimum. So, or else you have to forfeit your tag to the DMV, which is crazy, right? So, because her bike is not registered in North Carolina yet, she's not legal here. We're going to drop hers to comp for now. And then when she registers her bike in North Carolina in the spring, she'll have to follow the rules going forward. But the rest of my bikes, I'm going to keep insured. I've already given Geico $1,300 for these motorcycles. I might as well just ride the shit out of them. I want to be able to get into my garage every morning and say, it feels like an R18 day, or it feels like a 701 day. Rather be stuck to one bike. Although if I had to pick one bike, it would be this bike. So we'll see how the budgeting works. Heather and I do need to create a budget for down here. We haven't done that yet. We'll be in this coffee shop in 3 minutes. I'll pull up and give you a brief tour. Man, I love this bike, though. I really do. Guy's got some crazy cologne on. Heather and I are probably going to go to a basketball game down here, though, because supposedly this NBA team is not very good in Charlotte. I don't know what their name is, but there's an NBA team down here, and the seats are like $15. I'll go to an NBA game for $15, even if I'm up in the nosebleeds. There's also a bunch of, small minor league teams around here, different sports. So we're gonna have fun. It's also weird being 8 miles from a concert hall. So we saw a few concerts for next summer that were announced. Like, wow, we could go to a concert together, like without having to go to Boston and get a hotel room and drive 2 hours each way, or do what we've done a couple of times where we actually go to a concert in Boston and then get home at like 3 o'clock in the morning. So that'll be cool to go to some concerts. It said delay when the green lights turn green. It's weird. I haven't gotten used to it yet. We're in one of the kind of hip neighborhoods now. We're going to it's fucking tomfoolery, man. We're going to go to, it's weird, by the way, one last remark before we get there. The hipsters are now have kids. So when I was young, oh, that's a cool little house that has been broken down. It's a craftsman house. When I was young, I always told people I was too fat to be a hipster, which is still true. I like the finer things, but I don't embrace the look of, being hip. But now all the hipsters are like in their late 30s and 40s, and so they all have kids. And so yesterday I went to a bunch of breweries on the R18 and was just buying beer to bring home with me, samples of beer to take home and get a feel for what's good here and what's bad here. And all of the breweries were full of kids. Like, all 3 breweries had a child's birthday party going on in them. Everyone still had their beards and their skinny jeans and their plaid and, corduroy and leather shoes. But they all had like a lot of kids. And I was like, whoa. And I asked the bartender, like, is there a bar in town that doesn't have children? And he was like, no. Like, he was almost upset with me. I'm like, I just kind of want to go to a bar and not have kids running around everywhere. That and service animals, in New England, you don't really have kids in bars. You might have them at a brewery, but it's not that many, really. Over here somewhere. This is cute. A walkable area. It's in this area, I think. Oh, there we go. He's got it. Oh, park in front here. Oh, motorcycle parking only. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Look at that. Can I park with this? Is that right? I guess so. Look at that. Wasn't that special? Huh. Look at that. Yeah, so we're in the hipster area, and everyone has kids now, and it's weird. I still don't want kids, but that's another discussion. I just have such a good life without kids. Heather disagrees. That's all I'm going to say. I've whittled her down to one. But, man, I just don't want to have kids. Hey, future kids, if you see this video of mine after I've died, I still love you, but my initial opinions were that I didn't want you.